Hello, how's it going? Yeah, figured I would come back and do a video of some recent pickups that I've got. I got a couple from Walmart, a bunch from Goodwill, and one from Amazon. So yeah, figured I'd start out with the Walmart and the Amazon. I had to pick this one up. That is the Blu-ray release from Scream Factory of Cobra. Absolutely love this movie. This is an upgrade. I've got the DVD over there that I'll probably try to take down to McKay's and trade it in here before too long. So I was real happy to upgrade that. Big fan of the 80s and 90s action movies. Now this one I needed an upgrade bad, and I was so happy to get this one, especially for 15 bucks. I'll probably watch this. I've seen it probably 100 times over my lifetime, but that is Big Trouble in Little China from Scream Factory. Now this one has the slipcover, which was pretty cool, but I absolutely love this movie so much. I can't believe I didn't have it on Blu-ray. I think I just had an old crappy DVD of it. But yeah, very happy to get this one. I absolutely love that movie. And then next from Walmart, I picked this one up. I hate to admit this, but I actually did not have this movie in my collection at all. So when I seen this was coming out, I had to jump on this. And I know I say this every time I show a 4K movie, but most of the releases that I can get on 4K, I go ahead and buy them. I do not have a 4K TV or setup right now, but I know I will be upgrading to one. So I think the smart move, if it's possible, is to go ahead and buy the 4K, which comes with the Blu-ray and digital code usually. So I can watch the Blu-ray until I get a new setup. But yeah, I was pretty disappointed in myself. I own part 2, 3, and 4 on DVD, but I never owned the first one for some reason. And that is the new, you'll probably never be able to see it. It's got a lenticular slip, but that is Jaws. Why I never owned this one. This is a pretty cool release from Walmart. Those 20 bucks, which I don't think is a bad price for it. But yeah, it comes with a nice book and all that good stuff. But yeah, and then I ordered one off Amazon. It's another 4K, but in my opinion, it's probably the greatest action movie ever made. And that is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I remember watching this in theaters back in the day. I was a little bitty guy, and it just absolutely blew my mind back then. But anyways, if anybody's interested, I don't know if this is the price. It has been for a long time, but this was $7.50 on Amazon, which I thought was a killer price, especially for a 4K of probably the greatest action movie ever made. All right, next, I picked up a bunch of completely random stuff from Goodwill. Most of these I will probably not watch anytime soon, like this first one. I picked up a couple of Blu-rays. This one I just picked it up because it was really cheap and it was a Blu-ray. It was in good condition. I like the first one. I don't remember watching the second one, but that is Ocean's 8. So I figured I'd go ahead, since it was a Blu-ray and cheap, and pick it up. At least I'll have the ability to watch it sometime if I ever feel the need to. Now this one, I've seen this before on Netflix or something, but it's one of those that I thought was okay. It's worth watching. Okay movie, but I never would have paid full price for this one, so it was cheap and still sealed, so I figured I would pick it up. And that was, actually, there's a couple in here that's not from Goodwill, I think I got a couple from Pawn Shop. I think this is one of them, but there's a Blu-ray of Seventh Son. It's got Jeff Bridges in it. It's a pretty good movie. I mean, it's worth watching. This one, I don't think I've ever seen this, and I don't really know much about it, but I figured I would pick it up and watch it at some point. It sounds good, but that is Death to Smoochie. So, yeah, figured I'd grab that one. I hate snap cases. I absolutely hate these things. God, what the hell's going on in there? Now this one, I had it at some point. I don't know whatever happened to my copy of it, but I actually really like this movie. So I figured I'd pick it back up. And that is Collateral. Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. Thought that was a good movie. Now this one, a cool story behind this. This is a PBS documentary, but this place is actually in Tennessee, and it's not very far from where I live. And anybody that knows me knows I like my bluegrass a lot. That's, you know, my dad played it all my life, so I always enjoy that. And what are you doing? Oh goodness, got a visitor. But and that is a PBS documentary of Bluegrass Underground. I was lucky enough, Amy got some free tickets one time, and she's not real big into bluegrass, so me, my dad, and my uncle got to go to this, and it's one of the coolest venues I've ever been to in my life. You go, I forgot how many feet underground into this big cavern, and they have all of the they have the shows right in the middle of a big cave. The acoustics are unreal. A lot of good bands play down here, and yeah, so I figured I would pick that up because it's really cool. It was a really cool experience to go down there and get to watch a concert. This one, I think I've seen it at some point. Don't remember much about it. But yeah, I figured I'd pick it up, maybe watch it sometime with Lorelai. That is, what's it? Lemony Snicket's, a series of unfortunate events. Did not own that one. This one, I just picked it up because I've actually watched some of it before and enjoyed the movie. It's just one of those kids' movies, you know, and that is Thunderstruck with Kevin Durant. For the longest time, Durant was my favorite player. So, it's actually a halfway decent movie. It's kind of, you get what you expect with that one. This one, I just found it. I don't have any idea. This is probably a terrible movie, I'm sure. It looks terrible on the back, but it was cheap. Slip cover. So I figured I'd pick that one up. Don't know much about this one either. It's got Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson, so I figured it might be okay, and that is The Island. So I don't know. Don't know about this one. I've not seen this one. It's got Jason Statham. Pretty sure this one was a remake. I want to say Bronson was in the original, maybe, and that's the mechanic. But yeah, little action. Now this one, I just picked it up just because of the name, but then I looked up a trailer for this. I might watch it at some point, but that trailer didn't really sell me on it, but that is Ninjas versus Zombies. I mean, really, you know, how can you go wrong with Ninjas versus Zombies? Next one, I don't know much about either, but it's got a hell of a good cast in it. And that is Clay Pigeons. I don't even think I read the back of it. Like at Goodwill, our Goodwill, it's 3 for $5 on the DVDs, which include Blu-rays, but yeah, so I just kind of had to make sure I got 6 of them. But everybody say hi. This is Cindy the Husker. She's coming and getting in the show with us. I've seen this one time. I don't remember much about it, but I remember thinking this was freaking hilarious. So I went ahead and picked that up, and that is The Goods. It's about some car salesmen. So I remember liking that one. Now this one, I was so happy. I've been wanting to go back and rewatch this. This movie is amazing. I haven't seen it in a long time though, and it's just a genuinely creepy movie. And I was very happy to find this for what I paid for it, and that is Jacob's Ladder. So I was really happy to get that one. Next one, I am not a real big fan of stand-up. I like most of the stand-up I like, most of it, not all, is from back in the 80s, like George Carlin, Kinnison, you know, and so I pick up a little bit of stuff when I can, when I find it for cheap, but this guy's a legend, so I'll probably watch this one sometime soon. But that is some stand-up of Richard Pryor. Always loved him. Now this one, when I used to install, I probably did it for about 5 or 6 years. I used to install cable, TV, telephone, and internet. And I'll go ahead and show, that is the Cable Guy. I've been looking for this one for a long time. Yeah, baby, he's a good doggy. And I used to, when I would get to people's door, I would say, "Hey, I'm Michael. You better get your swim trunks on because you'll be channel surfing in no time." And people either kind of got the reference and laughed and thought it was funny, or people looked at me like I was a complete idiot. Most of the time, they looked at me like I was a complete idiot, which is not far from the truth. So, and then this last one, I am just not a fan. I know I never say this right, of giallos. Just can't get into them. They're a little bit too slow burn most of the time for me, but this one was super cheap. I know it's got a Blu-ray out now, but I figured I would pick this one up just because. So that is 7 Bloodstained Orchids. Just figured I'd go ahead and grab that one. But yeah, I guess that's gonna just about do it. But I appreciate you watching. Have a good night.